Hello, everybody. Welcome to another of Look Mac Talks. Today, you can see by my big, huge smile that I'm happy, as always, as a matter of fact. But today, I'm happier because I have two absolutely wonderful musicians, two persons that are I don't know, they are in our life since forever. We have with us Esa and Santeri. They are both from, yes, drums, Amorphis. Exactly. So I have to tell you, first of all, that it is a big, huge pleasure to have you both here and welcome to our talks.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you very much.
It is a very great honor for me to have you here because you are a real institution on the metal universe, and you are launching now on September 26th, if I'm not mistaken, your new album, and it's called Borderland. So I would like to ask you, um, if this new album marks a new chapter on Amorphis' career, and if it was different to do it as we speak about the creative process, if we compare to previous albums.
Yeah, it was first album now that we did with a Danish producer Jacob Hansen, and it was very nice experience. We did 3 albums with Jens Bokern.
Mm-hmm.
He's a splendid producer as well, but we wanted to sort of find some new nuances and elements to our production. So we switched over to Danish producer, and Jacob was a great guy, amazing guy, and it was really nice to work with him. Really easygoing guy, and he pretty much brought that extra little flavor, I guess, what we were looking for to our sound world. And yeah, well, creative wise, I think we work pretty much as we have before.
Mm-hmm.
Each guy works on their own with the songs, and then we put all the songs to Google Drive, and the producer goes from there. So yeah.
I read on your press release that we had with us that you started with 24 demo tracks. That's huge. If this is true, this is huge. You could make a double album. I don't know why you didn't make a double album. You make us happy. But
Probably
this
there is a reason.
There is a
I
reason.
imagine so. But how did the selection process work to choose among these tracks, and how did you do the final cut and decide for the ones that are in the record?
Well, that's one of the reasons why we use the producer.
To help you.
No, not help is understatement. No, we self-produced like the Far from the Sun and Eclipse and Silent Waters and Skyforger and Beginning of Times. And actually making the albums was relatively easy, but we couldn't agree. We had a lot of fights and disagreements about the bonus tracks and which will end up to the album and which will be singles and which order we have. And then we started to use the external producer in the circle with the Peter Tegren. And I think main reason to start to use the producer was that he makes the big decisions, because we can't really. There's 6 guys in a band. Everybody has a strong mind, and we listen all kind of different music, and we don't agree about. And some songs are somebody's babies. Some songs you like because they are heavy, and so the producer actually has to select the songs to the production from the 25 song pile, as you said, and then he has to select the songs for the album. And then he has to select a track list, like which order and the bonus tracks. So that's one of the producer's job in Amorphis, because we maybe could do it, but with endless fights. Yeah.
We don't want that. We
Well,
don't
we
want.
did it already for 5 albums. So we don't want it either. You know, it's so much more fun just to concentrate to make the music and
Yeah,
concentrate on
absolutely. I
playing
agree.
instead of endless discussion about which song who likes, because we are anyway too close to the product. So maybe it's good to have an objective
Yeah.
person who's responsible for the overall picture.
Mm-hmm. Santeri, you already shared that you had a desire to folk on rich atmospheres and strong melodies. I would like to ask you, how did that influence your work on this album as a keyboard player and a songwriter?
It just happens, you know. We don't really talk about the music in Amorphis like after the touring period. We don't really talk about like in which direction should we go. That may also be because we couldn't find the direction and then we would compromise. But no, it's kind of subconscious. I think everybody just knew that you were talking about the eras in the beginning of the interview, that we have some sort of eras in the Amorphis history, like the early era, then we have the Pasi Koskinen era, and then we have the era with Eclipse Silent Waters, then we have the era with Jens Bogren's albums. It's kind of a funny idea to see that this could be the beginning point of the new era of Amorphis too. We didn't talk about it. We don't know if it's going to happen, but it's kind of a funny idea. But I think everybody just thought that the new album is not going to be part of that era, which was Halo, Under a Red Cloud, Queen of Time. You know, we didn't talk about it. It was unconscious, but we had some sort of a mutual understanding because I started to write the songs. They were very melodic and powerful, kind of like a straightforward, catchy, and everybody else started to drop that kind of a demos too. So maybe there was some unconscious mutual understanding that it's our 15th album and we have to try to keep us fresh. We have to try to surprise the audience, and we can't do a continuation with the previous album. We have a long career and we have this kind of 3 album eras with so I think everybody just subconsciously thought that we can't do it. Halo was very proggy. It was very guitar oriented. It was very heavy, aggressive, and it was, I think, maybe most heavy that Amorphis can be at this state of time and with this lineup and this style of music. So I think everybody just thought that let's find some new directions and some fresh elements and new dimensions to surprise the audience and also to keep the band, keep the high quality music, and without changing and the new producer give you perfect opportunity for that you can really surprise everybody. And also the band was kind of surprised like how Jake would work because he was opposite of Jens Bogren, as I said earlier, that he forced us to make a band album and the songs were already pretty massive and straightforward. So I don't know where did it come from, but I think it came from that we knew that we are changing the producer and we need to find something. We can't redo Halo Part 2. Or we can, but that's not fair for the fans.
No. You spoke about surprise. I show Bones to some people. There are fans, and they were quite surprised with the song because they thought it is very heavy among the album. And I would like to know what inspired you to write such a piece like that. I love it. I love it. I want to see it to see it on a concert venue. But tell me.
It's not a big story. I just wanted to make a heavy, maybe prove that also keyboard player can make a heavy riff based Amorphis song. I've had couple, maybe some, but mostly in Amorphis, the most heavy songs always come from Esa or Tommy because they are the guitar players, and the keyboardist always makes melodic, and Eurovision is massive symphonic elements to the album. But I just thought that fuck it. Let's try to make a very nasty, heavy. So keyboardists are not always to blame about the poppy songs.
Santeri, were they surprised with that?
Well, no, that was the goal. That was the goal, and I kind of knew that he's going to growl in it. It's quite obvious because there's no splendid. But yeah, I was kind of surprised that it ended up almost, or maybe the heaviest song in the album. That I was surprised, but everybody kept bringing in more melodic songs than with previous one. So no, it's fine. It's my mission is complete.
Esa, tell me another thing. The track, I have to read it because I don't fix the names. Dancing Shadow was originally titled Disco Tiger. Okay.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It was a working title.
Oh, it was a working title. Okay.
It was a working title. Like, we have these demos that everybody sent to the Google Drive. So obviously we have to name them some way, and usually people give working titles for the demo tracks. So
but Disco Tiger, it's very cool, huh?
yeah, it's pretty cool. It could be Disco Tiger. I don't mind, but it's almost Disco Tiger, Dancing Shadow.
But tell me one thing: how did the mix of modern elements with classic Amorphis melodies came about, and all joined together in this song?
Well, that's the usual, the Amorphis soup.
Amorphis soup.
I don't never think about how it's going to turn out. Like, if it's a straightforward song, you pretty much know the basic lines and how Tommy is probably going to approach the song. If there's some catchiness in the airs, he probably puts some more clean vocals there, or not. If he wants to defend, he throws. But that was one of the songs that you pretty much knew how he's gonna perform like, and very straightforward with melodic tracks. So yeah.
And the title, The Dancing Shadow, was the title that you wish after you Disco Tiger, or it was the title that you all went together and invented, shall we say?
Yeah, we went together to rehearsing place and voted the
Nobody
the title
wanted
of the song.
Nobody wanted.
Disco Tiger. I voted Disco Tiger.
You liked the Disco Tiger. I also liked it.
Doesn't. Who doesn't?
Yeah. The other guys didn't.
Yeah.
I lost the vote.
You lost.
Now it's Dancing Shadow. What can you do? Nothing.
Yeah. You already said both that it is your first time working with Jacob. We know already because Santeri already spoke about the way that you all work together with the producer and everything. But did he bring something different to the sound of the music or not?
I think his strength was in the mix, and he was very inspiring producer what came to the recordings and in overall in the studio. Very kind person, and but he didn't throw in any like arrangement ideas that much, or he didn't have any harsh comments about our songs. So pretty much the songs are what they were on the demos. So I think this album is very band approach production compared to the Jens productions. I think Jens was a bit more demanding with the tracks and everything, arrangements. So, but I guess the final thing what Jacob did was the mix, and in the mix, I guess he sort of brought the freshness into this album, and yeah, I really love what he did for the album, and I guess we pretty much got what we wanted from Jacob. So,
do you think we having a band with such a long career, it's important at this time of the band's life to have somebody like Jacob to add something to the sound, like the mixtures that you spoke earlier?
Well, it's good to have somebody outsider. Like this is our 15th album,
Yeah.
and we definitely don't want to, in the way, repeat ourselves. And we want to have some little nuances, some little differences, at least what we done before. We haven't invented the wheel again. This is like very Amorphis type of an album, but just the productional little details that makes the difference. I guess that's why, in our case at least, it's important to have an outsider producer who can probably see out from the box
Yeah.
and create something new for our sound.
Yeah, you also described the ambience in the studio very relaxing and very smooth. Was that important for the recording and for the development of the music and the album?
Well, it helps, of course. Yeah, if the producer is nice.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Santeri, what do you think?
Yeah, he was very laid back and not that demanding, as I said, but it was very nice for a long time. We've been working for a decade, like with under very strict control, and under like that everything is like double checked and triple checked and quarter checked, and then we changed something. But no, it was more like a band album. We really went back to the times of Eclipse and Skyforger and stuff, that the band makes the music, and that's why it's somehow, I don't really know how to describe it, but a new album sounds very organic, even though the sound is massive. But it actually, and Jacob didn't cut out that much things, sometimes in the previous albums, and somewhere we have like parts where there's a lot of things cut out from the keyboards normally. But at this now all the instruments are there basically all the time. It sounds very organic, and somehow it sounds what Amorphis actually sounds, when we play live shows, because we have all the good headphones in the show, and we can really hear. I think all the elements what we have and which are famous for Amorphis, that this is Amorphis basically, and Jacob somehow managed to capture all these elements there. Maybe it was because he didn't really take out that much stuff. Of course he takes some stuff out, because personally I overplay, but he kept all the main things what has to be there, without we even didn't have any discussion about that. He's a musician too, so he probably heard that the best way to present the band is to keep the key elements there instead of cutting them out. And he didn't really add that much stuff there. There is no extra elements like what there has been sometimes, like choirs and orchestras and stuff that much. And it's basically Amorphis playing all the time, and with how Amorphis actually sounds at 2025, and it's very organic, and yeah, I'm pretty happy about it, and I think the album sounds great, as I said.
Yes, it does. The other thing is the lyrics of Borderland explore a little bit the meeting point between the ancient wisdom with the modern struggles that we all see, that we all feel, that we all live in this era. I would like to ask you both, how did these themes develop, and how did these themes, so specific, shape the music, or they didn't shape nothing at all? The music was one thing and the lyric was another. How did you shape all together?
Well, that's pretty much how you put it. It's like we work separately, completely separately. Pekka Kainulainen, who writes the lyrics, he works by himself with the lyrics. Actually, all the lyrics were made year before we even had these demo songs ready. So we don't know that much what he's writing about. Of course, we know the topics and so on, and Tommy sent some of his lyrics as a Finnish to us, so we can check what's going on. But it's usually two totally separate elements and things. And what happens then is that we have a translator, Ike Evil dude, who is translating Pekka's lyrics into English, and then Tommy starts to arrange this translation with Jonas, the vocal producer, into our music. So it's quite a job, and probably the most difficult way to imagine to do songs based on lyrics that are going to translate and then arrange into the music. But every time it's a great match. It fits so well together. But there's a lot of work with Tommy and Jonas when they arrange the lyrics.
Yeah, it's a really challenging job to do and to combine, as you said, because he writes and then it's translate, and it's massive that to have the concept, to have the feeling, to have all the ideas that he wrote originally, and then put it on English. That's massive.
Yeah,
and I guess the theme starts to build up while we are like recording the album, and when Tommy's doing the vocals, that's like the eye opener for us as well. We start to realize, okay, this song goes there, and that's happening there. So it's like an eye opening experience for us as well.
Yeah. Santeri,
more than anything, as Esa said, the lyrics doesn't really affect to the music, but they affect strongly to the graphics. Like the whole album covers are always based on the lyrics instead of the music, because you can find themes there, like so they are not connected. They are two different departures, like lyrical context and the music, but the lyrical context also defines how the album looks and what kind of a graphical context we will have in the next, forever. Yeah, like all the tours and stuff.
I have to ask you, because after what you reveal us, would you say that Borderland, the musics in the album, they combine all together, or they live alone, away from each other?
There is, of course, a connection. If I understood right, there is like a connection in between, but it's something that is really hard to determine in beforehand, like, because we write the music based on our own intuition and passion and emotions, and then Pekka is writing his lyrics based on his dreams or nature and wherever he takes his inspiration. But yeah, as I said, it's a great match when it all combines together, and I think it serves versus vice. Music serves the lyrics, and lyrics serves the music at the end of the day.
That's pretty cool. I'm really astonished because I think it must be so hard to write fabulous music as you do, and then for him to write fabulous lyrics as he does, and then combine together. My God, you are so gifted. That's the real spirit of Amorphis, and that's wonderful to see. Santeri, tell me one thing. Light and shadow. Did you wrote this theme with totally freedom, and did you felt by somehow you had to do different from previous formulas that you might have used? Or tell me a little bit more about this song.
Well, I've used these formulas many times, but they never ended up in the album. But no, I tried to just look for the new, fresh elements, after proggy, complex, even aggressive Halo, and just not to do the continuation, like approach the music at the same way, because we don't need a second. We always have to evolve. It's 15th album, come on. But I just tried to find new fresh elements and combine the strong melody to the strong groove, which I love at the moment. And I have to say, I was kind of surprised that it ended up in a production, because but anyway, it's very forthgoing song and super melodic, and Tommy's vocals are absolutely great. So I'm kind of happy about it. Yeah, it combines everything what Amorphis is actually. There's grooves, there's atmospherical guitars, there's really strong melody, and it's catchy, and there's all elements of vocals what we can present. I think it was the great first single to little bit surprise the fans, like, okay, this is coming. Obviously, you can't please everybody, but that's not the point. There will be a lot of singles, and you can't present the album with one single. Well, some bands can, but we really can't. There's so much dimensions in the music and all kind of different songs. But there will be more singles, and they are kind of teasers for whatever kind of stuff you will find from the album. Obviously, the album is much bigger musical experience, but still the singles have to little bit tease you, like what's coming, and they have to be fresh and a little bit surprising. But yeah, it was a tryout which paid off at some level. Hey, I have a new interview now. I have to go. Sorry.
You have to go. Okay.
Hey, thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you for the interview.